Continues previous story, then Qin told Master Ling that although the Lin Immortal Palace had claimed to have captured the nine-tailed fox, she was worried that they wouldn't just let go and leave the nine-tailed fox to the Lingyun Immortal Palace. Master Ling tried to confirm, was it the Silver Moon Demon King? Qin confirmed it, that was him. Moving on to an unknown village, a pig monster attacked and terrified everyone. The pig monster shouted for humans to dedicate themselves and become appetizers for him. He was the chef of the Silver Moon Demon King's troops. With his 18 skills, he would not let their death be a waste. The pig monster's head was suddenly hit by something from above, knocking it down. It was a purple-haired woman who was the demon captain of the Silver Moon King's guard. The woman was called Squirrel. Squirrel asked what the pig was doing while everyone was busy. Squirrel warned the pig not to cry if the Silver Moon Demon King cut it into pieces. The pig argued that while everyone was busy looking for the heavenly demon fox, they needed food, right? So he was grabbing food. Anyway, as the Silver Moon Demon King's chef, he came to the village to look for ingredients, and he wanted to see if the nine-tailed fox was among them. The pig looked at the trap he was carrying. The old man in the trap was trembling and asking to be released. The squirrel found the old man very unappetizing as it was wrinkled and not edible. The squirrel pulled the old man's neck out of the trap and dropped him to his death. The pig did not understand what the squirrel was doing. The squirrel scolded the pig for being stupid. Why did the pig catch the old one? He should have caught the fat and nutritious one for the king. The villagers were smart. They gave up the old men and hid the young women and children. During their conversation, they noticed that someone was looking at them. It was a little girl. The squirrel said that it seemed like the girl's flesh was very tender. Moving on to a place full of thunder and lightning, tornadoes, and torrential rain, there was a flood that swept through the neighborhood. A giant bird was seen on top of a hill looking at the flash flood in front of it. The squirrel had returned and met the bird monster. It was the Silver Moon Demon King. The squirrel brought a piece of meat and asked the king to eat something light first, not to torture himself, just to wait for the nine-tailed fox. The Demon King didn't want to eat it and asked if the nine-tailed fox had been found. The squirrel said that they hadn't found it yet. He was likely unhappy with the report. He said that if the fox was hiding in the mountain, then he would destroy the mountain. If the fox was hiding in the ocean, then he would drain the ocean. If they all couldn't find it, then he would do by himself. With piercing gaze, the Demon King said when the time came, they would all become side dishes for him. The squirrel was drenched in cold sweat and understood. A small bird suddenly came to report. The bird monster said that it found the whereabouts of the nine-tailed fox, but the people from Immortal Lingyun's palace had taken it away. The Demon King stared intently at the little bird monster, leaving the bird monster scared to death. In a heavy, intimidating voice, the Demon King said if the Immortal Palace could catch it, but why the monsters couldn't. The monster was so completely helpless under the pressure of the Demon King, forcing him to prostrate himself before the king. He apologized. He apologized for his incompetence. The Demon King said that the Immortal Palace was nothing after the destruction of the Heart Zither thousands of years ago. They are now just a bunch of lame people. Now that the monsters had lost to them, there was no reason for the little bird monster to live. Again, the little bird monster begged for mercy to the point of flapping its wings repeatedly in fear. The bird monster stammered, saying that it had found nine-tailed fox's sibling that as of now six-tailed. The demon lord looked a little pleased with the news. He said that it seemed like the bird monster was still useful. The Demon King confidently said that he would catch the small one first and the big one would follow soon. The Silver Moon Demon King immediately took off to fly somewhere to find it, back to Master Ling and Qin. In the distance, a whirlwind and lightning struck. The sight of it made Qin a little worried. He said that it seemed like the Demon King had come out. Master Ling did not respond and remained silent for a while. Qin said that the Silver Moon Demon King became very violent while chasing the nine-tailed fox, but the ordinary sects of the Xian dynasty wouldn't dare to fight him. If it was like this, then it would be difficult and crimes would be raging. Master Ling responded the Silver Moon Demon King had cultivated to the divine test stage. Nobody would risk going against him. The Silver Moon Demon King had spread information about the existence of the nine-tailed fox to the world for everyone to look for it, and the Demon King would just sit until someone found it. After that, he will make his move. This surprised Qin when she learned the cultivation level of the Silver Moon Demon King. In that case, wouldn't the Silver Moon Demon King be looking for Immortal Lingyun's palace? Master Ling asked Qin not to worry too much because the Heavenly Heart Zither had been repaired. He would no longer fear the Silver Moon Demon King. He just needed to wait for him to come and made him learn. Surely, Qin was worried about that, but it was useless. Master Ling had put on an expression of confidence and determination. Master Ling said that they had finally finished cleaning up the expert's courtyard. How could they let the Silver Moon Demon King mess up again? Master Ling was getting more and more impassioned. He shouted that the expert told them to clean up carefully. Master Ling continued if the Demon King caused trouble for the expert and the expert blamed immortal Ling Yun's palace, wouldn't that mean his best chance so far was wasted? Resentfully, Master Ling was still saying things. He was an important chess piece of the master. Even if he had to go through hell, he would never give up. Qin felt that she understood what her master meant. She felt even more admiration for her master. Moving on to Day's sister, the six-tailed fox was currently overwhelmed. She didn't really know if she had provoked someone. She kept getting beaten up and knocked to the ground. She tried to escape and hoped that someone would help her. It turned out that the Silver Moon Demon King was there and continued to command the other monsters to chase immediately. The Silver Moon Demon King was a little surprised to find out that the six-tailed fox had now evolved into a seven-tailed one, which was really interesting to him. The Silver Moon Demon King laughed out loud, happily knowing that if he could capture the nine-tailed and seven-tailed foxes and search for the secrets in their bodies, then the day he became immortal would be a piece of cake. Now, the seven-tailed fox was hiding and scared in the bush. She was worried whether the monsters were chasing her to find out where her big sister was. However, a monster suddenly found her in the bush, but the seven-tailed fox was still able to escape. She decided to run in the opposite direction of her sister's whereabouts. She couldn't let her sister get caught. Halfway through her escape, the seven-tailed fox stopped because the Silver Moon Demon King had confronted her. He immediately attacked with his claws and slashed at the seven-tailed fox. The seven-tailed fox was already hopeless and only froze in the face of the attack, but the attack did not hurt her. It turned out that Qin was already there blocking the Silver Moon Demon King's attack. The fox was curious who Qin was. Qin immediately told the fox to leave. Following the order, the seven-tailed fox hurried to hide. Master Ling was also there. He told the Silver Moon Demon King that his time was up. The Silver Moon Demon King was pissed off by this interruption from Master Ling, as he had his quarry in front of his eyes, yet he was being interrupted. Were they ready to die? The Silver Moon Demon King unleashed his intimidation aura on Qin and Master Ling, but Master Ling broke the intimidation aura with just a flick of his hand. Master Ling said that his head was already hurting right now, so there was no need for the Demon King to shout. Master Ling sighed and put his hand on his lips, telling the Demon King to keep quiet. The expert was probably sleeping right now. They continued to boast a few things, but Master Ling didn't want to waste any more time. Better that they fight right away. The Demon King would certainly serve Master Ling's challenge because nobody could beat him. Master Ling was just trash before him. Both parties immediately dashed at such an incredible speed that they were difficult to see by eye. The simultaneous impact of attack after attack created shockwave in the surroundings. The Demon King said that the demon monsters were afraid of Ling's immortal palace just because Ling Yun's palace held the blessing of the Heavenly Heart Zither. However, now Ling Yun's palace Heavenly Heart Zither has been broken. So how could he, the Demon King, be afraid of Ling's master? The moment the Demon King's claws were about to touch Master Ling pulled out his Heavenly Heart Zither and made an attack. The sound waves from the zither strumming were able to hollow out several mountains and were able to knock the Silver Moon Demon King far away. As Qin saw her master using his Heavenly Heart Zither, she tried to rebuke him for being too noisy. The noise would upset the master and awaken him from his rest. Master Ling apologized for getting carried away. Both Qin and Master Ling approached the Silver Moon Demon King, who was blown away by his attack. The Silver Moon Demon King didn't expect the Heavenly Heart Zither to have been repaired, knowing that it required the bamboo of enlightenment to repair it, and it was currently the only one on Earth. How could the zither be repaired? The statement of the Silver Moon Demon King led Master Ling to misunderstand. He felt that he had understood everything. Master Ling said that everything was in accordance with the expert's calculations. The expert gave him the enlightening bamboo to help him kill the Demon King. He admired Nifen even more. It was an opportunity sent by God. He had become Nifen's best chess piece. The misunderstanding intensified as Qin joined in provoking his master. It seemed that the Demon King didn't want to continue the fight. He offered Master Ling a chance. If Master Ling did not make himself an enemy, then after capturing the nine-tailed fox and finding out the truth together, immortality would be in their hands. Then Qin whispered something to Master Ling, that the great opportunity the Demon King offered was nothing compared to the expert. Master Ling agreed with this. The Silver Moon Demon King was already very confident and continued to persuade Master Ling to cooperate with him. However, the Silver Moon Demon King was suddenly surprised and asked why Master Ling was looking at him with such a concerned face. Master Ling said the Demon King's offer was so boring it was completely pointless. The Heavenly Demon King, who felt belittled, continued to rant and cuss at Master Ling until his spit ran down Master Ling's face. He promised to repay Master Ling for his humiliation in the future. For now, he would retreat. The Demon King walked away and left Master Ling and Qin behind. Qin was surprised that the Demon King ran away. Even Master Ling didn't expect it. He thought that the Silver Moon Demon King wanted to fight with him again. Qin said that the Demon King was very strong. If Master Ling pushed him harder, even Master Ling wouldn't be able to escape from the Silver Moon Demon King. Master Ling confirmed that, but he had been given trust by the expert, so he had to complete his mission immediately. Soon they were chasing after the Silver Moon Demon King before he got too far away. Halfway through his flight, the Demon King grumbled that Master Ling was blocking his way. He also didn't expect his 4,000-year Demon King self to be defeated by Master Ling. But he would find time to take revenge and destroy Ling Yun's palace. As he flew over a small hill, the Silver Moon Demon King was startled by something in front of him. It was Blackie. He was completely stunned by Blackie's appearance. They looked at each other for a moment. The Demon King was annoyed and let out his intimidating aura to say, "Where did the little dog come from?" and asked Blackie to get out of his way. Blackie told the Silver Moon Demon King to destroy his own monster core. The Demon King did so, and it would not move. The Demon King ignored Blackie's words. He tried to leave by saying that Blackie was lucky because he had urgent matters and would not deal with Blackie. As he passed Blackie, the Demon King was surprised that something happened to him. It turned out that the Demon King's tail had been trimmed by Blackie. This made the Silver Moon Demon King angry and cursed at Blackie. However, as the Demon King turned to look at Blackie, he was shocked and mentally hit at the same time. With a stutter, the Demon King said who Blackie really was. Blackie's paws began to tense up and his shadowy aura suddenly grew bigger, revealing his true self. He said that he was just an ordinary guard dog. Witnessing Blackie's insane strength, the Demon King broke out in a cold sweat. From afar, where Blackie was in a rage, there was a fierce lightning strike. Nephin, who was hunting, called out to Blackie but could not find him. Seeing the lightning strike from a distance, Nephin panicked. He ran immediately to look for Blackie. He was worried that Blackie was hurt. Meanwhile, Master Ling and Qin were extremely mentally scared by what happened in front of them. Qin stuttered, asking Master Ling if he had seen it. Master Ling also asked where this dog demon came from. How terrifying. After settling down a bit, they finally talk about the Demon King. Qin said the Silver Moon Demon King was like a baby in that dog's arms. Qin suggested that they leave immediately before the dog realized where they were. Master Ling agreed, as it would be dangerous for the demon dog to know where they were. When the two of them made a turn to leave, suddenly they were shocked that Blackie was already behind them. With an intimidating face, bulging eyes, and a cruel smile, Blackie asked if they had seen everything. Obviously, they had seen everything. Being so scared, Master Ling knelt down and prostrated himself. He repeatedly asked the dog master to have mercy on him. He was a dog lover, so dogs would never kill someone who loved dogs. Qin, who saw his master acting like that, was surprised. She said that they could be killed, but there was no need to humiliate themselves like that in front of a dog. Master Ling, who was still kneeling before Blackie, told Qin that if Qin didn't know anything, it was better to join him so that they wouldn't be killed. Blackie spoke up. He knew that the two of them were the master's guests. Indeed, they must understand the rules. Master Ling, who was still a bit terrified, looked confused by Master's words. Qin seemed to realize something. Blackie looked familiar. He recognized the dog and the knife in residence. Qin instantly changed her expression and respected Blackie. Qin simply nodded, saying that of course they understood the rules. Once again, Blackie warned them to remember that he was just a dog, an ordinary dog that couldn't do anything, and the Demon King or Eagle was something he found by accident. Hearing Blackie's order, Master Ling, still prostrate, said that they understood. Blackie was the greatest in the world. He was very impressed with Blackie. Seeing Master Ling's behavior made Qin and also Blackie astonished. Suddenly, there was something in the bushes near them. It startled Blackie and the others, who turned out to be Nephin. Nephin cried, afraid of losing Blackie, and ran straight to Blackie. He grumbled about how many times he had told Blackie not to go alone to high and strange places. But he stopped crying and saw that Qin and Master Ling were there, and Blackie had turned into a normal dog. Nephin looked at Master Ling and asked if it was Master Ling. Grabbing Master Ling's hand, Nephin cried, asking if it was Master Ling who protected his dog from the lightning attack. He thanked him for his help. Master Ling asked Nephin not to praise him too much. It was all for nothing. Then Qin introduced Master Ling to Nephin. Master Ling was her master. Still filled with tears, Nephin addressed Master Ling as Uncle Ling. Master Ling also addressed Nephin as Master Lai, while Blackie and Qin, who saw their behavior, remained silent. Nephin turned to Blackie, who had brought the Demon King. A Demon King that had turned into a normal bird without feathers. Blackie happily showed it to Knifen. Of course, Knifen asked if Blackie had caught it. Blackie barked to confirm it. Knifen took the eagle and said that it was really a big eagle. Blackie is indeed extraordinary. Knifen stroked Blackie and seemed satisfied with Blackie's actions this time. Knifen also felt slightly more comfortable. He told Master Ling and Shin that usually during the day there were a lot of people and monsters, but today was very quiet, so he could go hunting. But suddenly lightning struck Blackie's head. He almost lost his heart when he saw it. Once again, Knifen thanked them for their help. If they wanted, how about they come to his house? Master Ling must have still misunderstood. He thought Knifen knew that the Silver Demon King had been defeated, and that now was his chance. In the end, Master Ling and Qin followed Knifen to his residence. Master Ling apologized to Knifen for being troublesome, telling Knifen that the other day Qin had mentioned Knifen. Since then, he had been wanting to meet Knifen, and now he could finally see and talk to Knifen in person. Knifen asked not to say that. It made him very embarrassed. He was just an ordinary person. There was nothing nice about it. Master Ling silently said that everything was as he thought. Knifen would rather remain anonymous and be an ordinary person in this world. He had to be careful not to reveal Knifen's identity. He couldn't miss the golden opportunity to get close and follow Knifen. Master Ling also said that he was very impressed with Knifen's tales of the journey to the west. It was a great masterpiece, and he also heard that Knifen wrote poems. Everyone was surprised about that. His old self was excited to see it. Knifen humbly said that he was still a beginner and needed Master Ling's guidance. Master Ling then noticed the arrow on Knifen's back. It was the bamboo of enlightenment. Knifen made arrows using enlightenment bamboo. A single strike using enlightenment bamboo would destroy the target without a trace, and also the bow was the same. It was made using enlightenment bamboo. Discovering the truth made Master Ling weak and sent him to his knees. Qin, who was worried, asked Master Ling what had happened. Then Master Ling confirmed to Qin again whether the enlightenment bamboo that Qin had brought home was just trash that Master Knifen had thrown away. When he heard it for the first time, he was curious. But when he saw it for himself, he had no choice but to believe it. Seeing the bamboo being thrown away and becoming Knifen's trash made Master Ling cry in frustration. Inside, he said that he wanted to pick up the trash that Knifen had thrown away. Knifen questioned whether Master Ling was alright when he noticed Master Ling's strange behavior. Qin tried to hide Master Ling's annoyance at not being able to pick up the trash Knifen had thrown away by saying that Master Ling was just very impressed to have met Knifen. Blackie was seen carrying the bald Demon King on his back. Master Ling, who saw that the Demon King was dead, said it was a blessing to die in the hands of such a presence. Knifen called Day when they arrived at his residence, saying that he and Blackie had returned. Day seemed happy to see them. She asked how their hunt went. Day was shocked to death to see the dead Demon King being carried by Knifen. Day asked, did Knifen get the Silver Moon Demon King? Of course, Knifen didn't take her seriously. He lifted Blackie up, saying that it was all thanks to Blackie. Knifen asked Day to praise Blackie too. Blackie had worked very hard. Day, of course, smiled bitterly, frightened. With no expression to hold back her overwhelming fear, Day stroked Blackie's head. By using her telepathy, Day asked Blackie what had happened. Blackie said it was what he did. But would Day believe him if he said that he was just passing by and accidentally killed him? They both made a deal to make Knifen not suspicious. Noticing Day's expressionless look made Knifen ask if Day was unhappy. She quickly put a happy face on. She said that this was the first time she had seen such a big mountain eagle. She was just surprised. The meat of the eagle must be very tender. She would make a delicious meal for tonight. Knifen excitedly said that tonight they would have a feast of delicious meat. As Knifen was happy, there were other people who were shocked to death. They stunned. Qin and Master Ling were completely struck mentally. A Silver Moon Demon King was about to be eaten. Master Ling told Knifen that he had heard from Qin that Knifen loved jelly food, and today he would bring a refrigerator for Knifen. Knifen tried to confirm it once again if it was true. Master Ling shook his head and said that it wasn't small. Knifen would need a large space to put it. Knifen said that it was easy. Long story short, Knifen had prepared a place to put the present by removing the plants that were precious to the immortals. Knifen asked Master Ling to put it there. Of course, Master Ling and Qin vomited blood in shock. The precious medicinal plants were just thrown away. Master Ling tried to calm himself down and would take it all for granted. Wiping the blood from his lips, Master Ling said that it was enough. Then Master Ling quickly took out a huge chunk of ice in front of Knifen. Knifen was really happy to see it. Knifen said that he thought it was a jelly-making machine, but what was it? Master Ling explained that jelly would be made from the chunk of ice. The ice came from a mountain known as Xuan Thousand-Year Iceberg. Unfortunately, it takes about 10 years to make 1 grain of jelly. Knifen, who had gotten plenty of jelly from the iceberg, asked what Master Ling had said earlier. Master Ling was of course getting pressured. He said that he didn't say anything. Master Ling looked angrily at the chunk of Xuan ice. He said that Xuan ice was very cruel. He had licked Xuan ice for thousands of years but only gave him 1 grain of jelly. But now we met Naifen, Xuan ice immediately gave everything to Naifen. Naifen smiled happily, saying that Master Ling had saved Blackie and given him the precious item. What could he do to repay Master Ling's kindness? He was just a mortal who could only grow crops and he had no valuables in his house. But if Master Ling didn't mind, please tell him what Master Ling wanted. Master Ling and Qin misunderstood. They thought it was a test from Naifen. If he lied and said he didn't need anything, Naifen would see right through it and think they were both being dishonest. But if he asked right away, he would look greedy. It was a really difficult choice for him. The same was true for Qin. If she wasn't careful, she would lose that great opportunity. Master Ling really looked extremely distressed. Even just one sentence out of Naifen's mouth already made him feel a massive pressure that he didn't know how to answer. Master Ling said that he actually had a long broken zither, which could now be repaired thanks to Naifen's enlightening bamboo. He would never forget Master Naifen's kindness. Everything he gave was just a small token of appreciation. You have to do that for Master Naifen's sake. Seeing Master Ling's behavior, Naifen really didn't understand. Naifen said, "What was the bamboo of enlightenment? Was it the bamboo branch that Qin brought home earlier?" Now Naifen was the one who was sad. He said to himself that he had only given a twig, but Master Ling had given him a jelly-making machine. Was that the tradition of the people of this world? Master Ling says that Naifen has a mirror-like heart. If so, he would have said it right away. Naifen agreed and asked Master Ling to say it right away. Master Ling says that his old self wanted Naifen to show him the way. The path that Master Ling was referring to was unclear, which would lead to misunderstandings. Looking at his master, Qin said that Master Ling had said it. Master Ling asked to show him how to achieve the path of immortality. Qin still continued that Master Naifen always kept his mouth shut when it came to immortal cultivators. Master Ling's movements were too dangerous, straight to the point. He wondered what Naifen's answer would be. Naifen invited them to leave immediately. It turned out that Naifen was inviting them to watch him play the zither. It was not what they expected, of course. Master Lin and Qin were completely confused by it all. Naifen confidently told them not to look at him like that. He just knew a bit of music. Qin was a little disappointed with Naifen's answer. Master Ling, on the other hand, was more than happy to see that. As expected of Master Naifen, he knew Master Naifen had practiced zither the first time he saw him. He felt very lucky. He was happy thinking that they would play together, but his happiness was ruined by Naifen. He said that they would not play together. Naifen said to himself that he played the zither with only normal energy, but those cultivators played with inner strength. What would happen if they all accidentally killed him? If only Naifen the expert knew that it was Naifen who would kill him. Naifen asked Master Ling to play one song first, and then he would play the next. Master Ling understood and followed Naifen's request. As he was about to touch the zither and look at it, Master Ling was immediately shocked. His hand was literally shaking as he touched the zither. He thought his zither felt the presence of Naifen's zither. Initially, the Heavenly Heart zither already seemed the best of the best, but when compared to Naifen's zither, then the Heavenly Heart zither was not an exaggeration to say it was firewood. Master Ling asked Naifen for permission to play the zither, which Naifen allowed with a cheerful smile. With full concentration, Master Ling convinced himself to play the zither. When he played just one string of the zither, Master Ling immediately vomited blood. This shocked Qin to death. Master Ling asked Qin to take it easy because the zither was too high level, requiring more energy to play. Master Ling immediately played the zither earnestly. The melody was really soft, making Naifen rise up to enjoy it. The surroundings became more blissful than before. Master Ling said to himself that the zither was a magical item. He had played the zither for a long time. Today, he could play the magic zither, so that if he were to die, he wouldn't die with regrets. Qin was impressed with his master's zither playing, even though Master Ling's gesture seemed very pathetic. Naifen, who was still listening, said that the playing was not bad. If the trash system was still there, it would have given him an 8. The sound of the zither reminded him of the days when he was forced to play zither 24 hours a day for 1 week straight by the trash system. He would never forget those days filled with cruelty. Master Ling had finished playing and asked Naifen if his performance was any good. Naifen smiles cheerfully and claps his hands. Naifen asked them not to judge with words, rather they should communicate with the sound of the zither. Naifen sat down and prepared to play the zither. Naifen silently said that if Master Ling loved the zither so much, then he had to do his best. He couldn't disappoint Master Ling. Meanwhile, Master Ling and Qin were already gulping in fear of what was about to happen. Naifen raised his hand and began to place his fingers to gently pluck the strings. As he plucked the strings, the sound of the zither was so powerful that it made them feel like they were being hit by a powerful wind that made their faces scrunch up. After a single strum of the zither, Niffen immediately stopped. Master Ling and Qin didn't know what was happening. Why Niffen had stopped playing. Qin asked Master Ling not to rush because at this moment what was behind Niffen was slowly unfolding. Was it the realm of the immortals? The atmosphere suddenly changed. There was a massive door opening behind Niffen, leaving Master Ling and Qin shocked. Now the surroundings turned into a fierce battlefield. Master Ling and Qin were completely confused. Of course, Master Ling wondered if it was the Taoist realm and it was a battle. But how did such a fierce battle appear in this world? A warrior within the realm had a murderous intent and came close to targeting them both. The worried Qin asked Master Ling to run away. However, Master Ling said that it was unnecessary, as the Taoist sect was currently on top of the two of them and running away was never a knight's choice. A knight riding a horse and wielding his spear raced towards Master Ling and stabbed him in the heart. But eventually they returned to the original world. They were a little relieved, but suddenly the surroundings changed again as the world was filled with extremely horrible plants. Master Ling said that all the living beings within the Niffen residence had cultivated beyond the limit. All living beings returned to their original forms after hearing the battle sounds of Master Niffen's zither. Master Ling muttered that Niffen didn't look like he wanted to give his opinion, but Master Ling felt that his zither performance didn't deserve Niffen's opinion. He had played pretty well, but he was far from good. Terrified, Qin told Master Ling that the monsters in the courtyard were strong enough to kill the Silver Moon Demon King. Qin was surprised to see Master Ling, who was crying uncontrollably. Master Ling said that it was okay. Niffen is an immortal. No, Niffen wasn't an immortal, but above immortals. Master Ling felt that his 3,000 years of cultivation meant that meeting Niffen was destined. All this Niffen's performance had caused Master Ling and Qin to feel a great sensation. Finally, Niffen stopped his performance. Niffen asked Master Ling his thoughts. What did Master Ling think of his zither performance? Master Ling was completely filled with pressure in his head just to give his opinion. He should think hard, Master Ling said to himself. Niffen had to ask them what they were thinking. It wasn't surprising that the existence of the neighborhood had become something out of the ordinary because they had heard Niffen's zither sound as their daily life, which could cultivate them all. Masters Ling and Qin were really very envious of all those around the Niffen residence. They also wanted to hear the performance every day, but Master Ling understood his situation and condition. He felt he didn't deserve any of that. He then got up and told Niffen that he was very grateful to Niffen for teaching him. His old self had received many benefits just by hearing the sound of Niffen's zither performance. Niffen humbly said that if he had not played zither for a long time, it was likely that his playing had diminished. He apologized for his poor performance. Master Ling ignored him because he had more important concerns. He wondered if Niffen could tell him the name of the music he played. With a casual response, Niffen said that it was a 10-sided ambush. Of course, that was a big misunderstanding. Both Master Ling and Qin were absolutely mentally challenged. He assumed that there was a group of demons hiding in the darkness. Wasn't that a 10-sided ambush? Master Ling thought that Niffen hid some very powerful monsters like Blackie in the courtyard on the 10 sides. Master Ling and Qin really did thank God that he didn't do anything to offend Niffen. Or else he thought his corpse and bones wouldn't be found in that world anymore. Master Ling happily said that the song was amazing. Niffen's ability to play the zither is absolutely great. Incomparable words fit Niffen perfectly. Niffen thought the praise was too much for him. Niffen still seemed concerned that he only gave Master Ling a bamboo branch while Master Ling gave him a jelly-making machine. Should he write a song and give it to Master Ling? Master Ling was surprised. His expression showed that he was bearing something extremely heavy in his heart. He shouted out loudly internally for Niffen to give it to him immediately. His 3,000 years of life would not have been wasted if he received that. Moving on to Ling Yun's immortal palace. Qin Yun was seen waiting for his father to come out of exile. People said that the master would break in. The saints had been guarding the house for 3 days. A light appeared in the air signaling the breakthrough. Qin Yun ordered them all to send the mana they had to help Master to break through. Soon, everyone started sending mana towards the light signaling the breakthrough. A huge, corn-tall figure appeared. Right after mana was shot into the light, a huge explosion occurred, and the huge figure disappeared. People wondered if the master had managed to break through. In the distance, someone came out from inside the pavilion. Qin Yun called out to his father, who was still in the distance, but his father asked for nobody to come closer. His father was Master Mufeng, the master of Ling Yun's immortal palace. With the wicked aura within him, Master Mufeng said that he had reached a critical period in the breakthrough. If he failed, he would receive a counterattack. The consequences were unimaginable if that happened. Master Mufeng asked Qin Yun to give him 9 ginseng spiritual notes that would determine whether or not he could break through. However, Qingyun was instantly shocked as her father asked for the ginseng spiritual notes. Slightly frightened, Qingyun apologized that he had given 9 ginseng spiritual notes to someone. Master Mufeng was surprised that the rare item was given to someone else, but Master Mufeng didn't mind. He asked for another item, neon grass. He was grateful that he had saved some in preparation for his breakthrough, but the reply he got from Qingyun surprised him. Qingyun had given those items away as well. Master Mufeng kept asking for the materials he needed, but Qingyun had already given them to someone else. This made Master Mufeng almost died. How could she give all the high-level materials to a stranger, he said. Master Mufeng, who was already weak, heard that his daughter gave all the materials he needed to someone else. He asked Qingyun why she gave them away. Rather than panicking that her father was about to die, Qingyun happily said that the person was the incomparable expert Master Nifen. He was a humble person who lived in exile as a mortal. Even the immortals in heaven could not compare to him. Hearing all about that person left Master Mufeng shocked once again. He believed that his daughter had been tricked by that strange bastard. As he watched his daughter, who was still smiling, Master Mufeng said to himself he was also certain that Qingyun's money had been swindled by that person. But he wasn't sure if Qingyun also gave her body to that person. At first he was skeptical, but seeing Qingyun's infatuated demeanor made Master Mufeng convinced that his daughter had given her body to someone else. Master Mufeng had no more energy. He was upset with himself. Sitting down, he beat himself up. He cried out pitifully. Even though there was no possibility of him breaking through, why did his daughter have to go through such suffering being cheated by a rascal bastard? Master Mufeng asked everyone to leave. He said in his heart that after he adjusted his breathing, he would go to rip apart the person who had cheated his daughter. When Master Mufeng was in the midst of his emotions, Qingyun told his father that although she gave a rare material to the knife and expert, but she got something that might help her father. Master Mufeng was curious and asked what it was. Qingyun happily said that it was tea. Master Mufeng really had no idea what else to say. 16 rare materials were exchanged for just tea. He couldn't believe that his daughter, who had been smart since she was a child, was now the one who became stupid when facing men. It seemed like Qingyun knew that his father thought that she had been cheated. Qingyun asked her father not to think that way. No matter if this was true or not, her father would know after see it. As the tea bag was opened, a ray of light spread out from the tea bag. Even just a beam of light from inside the tea bag was able to wash away the evil energy within him and make Master Mufeng return to his original form. Master Mufeng was shocked to see that. He momentarily felt as if all the evil Kai in his body disappeared. Was it an illusion, or did the tea contain heaven and earth? Qingyun offered her father to drink the tea, and she would brew it for him. The green-colored tea filled with pure qi was poured by Qingyun into the glass. The father, Master Mufeng, who saw his daughter brewing tea for him, said, wasn't it the first time Qingyun had brewed tea for him? Master Mufeng was really happy. He seemed to be experiencing daughter complex. Master Mufeng inwardly said, even though his breakthrough was no more hope, he could still taste a cup of tea made by his daughter personally. It was worth it for him. As he took the tea that had been poured for him, Master Mufeng said that people cultivate by eating the food of heaven and earth, but he drank tea instead. He thought he was the first person to do so. Those words seemed to contain a lot of regret. Qingyun couldn't bear to see her father just remain silent. Immediately, Master Mufeng sipped his tea. The tea water that flowed down his throat instantly changed the world he was currently in, a world filled with beautiful scenery. He was surprised to feel the Taoist energy in the tea, but he realized something else. It wasn't just Taoism that was in it. There was consciousness too. Master Mufeng looked at the teacup, saying that the small teacup could cause confusion to whoever drank it. It also made him remember his time with his daughter Qingyun when she was young. The consciousness in that tea was truly extraordinary. Qingyun, who saw her father not saying anything, asked, "How was the tea?" Master Mufeng remained silent and did not answer her. He continued to concentrate, and afterward he shouted that his daughter was really unbelievably adorable, coupled with the explosion of his cultivation breakthrough. People who saw it were also impressed. Finally, Master Mufeng managed to break through. Once again, Qingyun asked how his father felt. Master Mufeng only said that Qingyun had been very sweet since childhood. Now she had the charisma of an adult. Qingyun certainly didn't understand what her father was talking about. Master Mufeng asked her to bring him the remaining tea bags he would see for himself. Qingyun showed him the tea, and it was all she had. Master Mufeng was absolutely overjoyed. That treasure or tea was enough to make Ling Yun Immortal Pavilion prosperous and invincible for about 10,000 years, as expected from Qingyun. By hugging Qingyun, Master Mufeng said it was truly a rare opportunity to be able to bring back such a good treasure. Master Mufeng held Xing Yun's hand, asking where the expert was when King Yun would meet him. King Yun told her father that it wasn't what he thought. The expert was a solitary and quiet person, enjoying seclusion in the mountain and rarely going out. She would explain everything that happened. Her father should listen carefully. Moving in the middle of the forest near Nifen's residence, a squirrel woman was seen together with a pig monster. They seemed to be arguing about who would be the next demon king. The pig seemed to claim that he would be the next demon king. The squirrel woman looked down on the pig. The pig was only at the safe stage of cultivation and already felt superior and intended to become a demon king. The pig got angry at being belittled. He shouted that he didn't care. It would be known whether it did or not after seeing it. However, their debate suddenly stopped because they heard the sound of a twig being stepped on by someone, and they also felt the presence of a very strong demonic K. The pig and the squirrel were really frightened and immediately separated. The squirrel and the pig ran in opposite directions and threatened to deal with each other again next time. The demon that the pig and the squirrel sensed was the QE of the seven-tailed fox. She ran so fast only to find Day, her sister. Within Day's arms, the seven-tailed fox said whether her sister knew that she almost died some time ago. The Silver Moon Demon King surrounded himself with a bunch of demons. The seven-tailed kept complaining. She thought she would never see her sister again. Dai asked if the seven-tailed fox could escape because of help from others. The seven-tailed confirmed it. How did her sister find out? Dai asked her sister to look at something in the front yard of Nifen's house. A bird was seen being skewered and dried in the sun. Seven Tails was immediately mentally hit by the sight of it. Wasn't that the Silver Moon Demon King? Dai confirmed it. The Silver Moon Demon King was already dead. Not only had his feathers been removed, but he had also been cleaned. She was sure that the Demon King had been salted for a few days and would be ready for the next day. Dai continued, it must have been Master Nifen who sent someone to rescue Seven Tail from danger. Everything was not a coincidence, but was all in Master Nifen's vision. The Seven-Tailed still did not pay attention to her sister's words, as she was still in shock knowing that the Silver Moon Demon King had been salted. Dai also thought of something and hoped that the Seven-Tailed would ask. The Seven-Tailed asked what her sister was expecting. In a happy mood, Dai said that Master Nifen had once told her that he wanted to let the Seven-Tailed turn into a human and serve Master Nifen together with her. But she was not sure whether his intentions were true or not. She was afraid that she would offend Master Nifen if she returned to the residence with the Seven-Tailed. Dai also told Seven-Tailed that since the demons were currently without a leader and were in a state of chaos, she wanted Seven-Tailed to become the Demon King. Seven-Tailed should discipline the demon group and provide a good hunting environment for Master Nifen. Dai also happily continued when Seven-Tailed had gained her strength and confirmed Master Nifen's intentions. She would bring the Seven-Tailed back together to serve Master Nifen. Seven-Tailed was getting more frantic. She didn't know what to say about her sister's ridiculous thoughts. Seven-Tailed jumped up and cried. She didn't want to be a demon king. Dai replied that Tailed 7 was now strong and deserved to be a demon king, but Tailed 7 was too shy. The Seven-Tailed asked why Dai didn't become the demon king. Dai shyly said that Nifen's master had been holding her back. It was rude of her to leave without permission from Master Nifen. Seeing his sister's behavior like that made Seven-Tailed speechless. Her sister has changed a lot. Dai then gave Seven-Tailed a bowl of soup, and she would think about the Demon King later. Some time passed. Master Mufeng and King Yun had now arrived at Nifen's residence. Master Mufeng asked if it was Master Nifen's residence that Xing Yun was talking about. Xing Yun reminded her father not to talk about anything Master Nifen didn't like and not to make him upset. Master Mufeng, who was scolded by his daughter, was happy. He felt that his daughter had grown up since she had scolded her father. Master Mufeng asked Xing Yun not to worry. Master Nifen was an expert and he would not treat him badly. They knocked on the door of Nifen's residence afterward. Nifen immediately opened the door. King Yun immediately started to speak. She said that her father had heard about Nifen's journey to the west, and her father insisted on meeting Nifen soon. She apologized for being troublesome again. Nifen addressed Master Mufeng as Uncle Mufeng. Master Mufeng said that he had wanted to meet Master Nifen for a long time, but now he could finally meet him. He apologized for his rudeness. Nifen asked Master Mufeng not to be too polite to him, and he let them in. They talked about a few things until Master Mufeng asked something that made King Yun panic. Master Mufeng asked numerous questions in a row. Where was Nifen from? How many members were in his family? What stage of cultivation he was currently in? And what about Nifen's job? How much did he earn in a month? When the last question came out of his father's mouth, whether Nifen was married, King Yun immediately stepped on his father's foot so hard that Master Mufeng was shocked and vomited blood, which of course made Master Mufeng correct his words. He apologized for his impoliteness, but Nifen didn't seem to care about that question. He simply said that he hadn't expressed his gratitude for the medicinal materials Kim Yun had given him and offered them if they didn't mind staying at his place for a while, and he would prepare lunch. He would prepare mushroom soup for lunch. Kim Yun thanked him for his offer. She would wait. Meanwhile, her foot was still stepping on her father's foot, which made her father still endure the unbearable pain in his foot.